Whoa, okay, so we're gonna cast a different game. So this was played after that last TGS. It says 10 p.m. Suffice to say, I was crashing before we got into any of this. I was crashing in the morning of that day, much less the night of it. And we were gonna play this map. Alright, so let's just jump in here. There's gonna be a long forward for this one too. There's a reason why I want to cast this map, other than the game being really silly and stupid. I just want to talk in general about a few things, because I think this can be educational. It can be stupid and it can be educational. So Warcraft 3 is host to pretty much universally bad maps. It's honestly hard to think of any map in Warcraft 3 that's really well done. Like TGS, before we started reworking it, had interesting, basic, but interesting ideas, I guess. You know, it was what it was. You could buy your skills or whatever. Obviously grotesquely imbalanced and busted beyond hope, until we had many generations of people slowly tackle it, slowly chisel it down, you know, build it back better, make maps great again. And then we have stuff like Dota, and Dota's a joke, and it's always been a joke. It's an extremely sluggish game. You can't have skill-based gameplay within Warcraft 3. Dota is really exemplary of how awkward it is to try to do that when you have a pathing system as sluggish and clunky as this, and the game as difficult to read as this. And, you know, as bad as it was, Dota, of course, still took all of Warcraft 3's player base because Melee was so bad. And Dota and stuff like TGS and Dota, maybe like Battleships, they're kind of like a real cut above the crowd, right? And maybe like Castle Fight. Like they're a real cut above the crowd. Most of the maps in Warcraft 3 at the absolute best are going to look like this map. And the previous map that we played before this, I'm not going to cast because it's tower defense. Tower defense is so sleepy and boring. I never understood really the attraction of tower defense. The only tower defense that I can stomach is Arcanines. And that's because Arcanines really isn't even a conventional tower defense. And tower defense is like, oh, hard counters. Build this to counter that. Wow, watch things move around and shoot. He's so fucking sleepy. I never pay attention to any of those. They're horrendous. Then we have maps like this. So this is another Dota clone. And it's a more conventional Dota clone where you have heroes that have a set of abilities. And the way they have like multiple abilities, and you can choose which ones to pick. So let's just start the match, and it'll make more sense once we see like the first minute or two here. So you can pick your hero here. There's a variety of them. I'm not going to get quite into the heroes quite yet, because most of the heroes we're going to see in this map are slightly unconventional. And like in this game specifically, compared to what people normally play. So this is a 3 versus 2, by the way. It's me and HKS versus High Zealot, Q, and Ricky. This normally is an absolute death sentence. So HKS is going to pick the Destroyer because that's a creative name, and I'm going to actually pick the Crafter. Q picks a Bard, which is support. I think he heals. And I'm going to pick the Crafter. The Crafter is a meme hero. He's absolutely worthless, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. And High Zealot picks a Priest, which is another healer. I think one of them is a hard healer, and then the other one's like more like a mixed support. HKS picks the Dark Knight, which has... I honestly don't really know what he does. He's kind of like a tank, but he has damage and AoE and stuff like that. So you have to go through these beacons and talk to these shops, and then from the shops you pick your skills, which will cost you lumber, aka skill points, and gold, or sometimes just lumber, with the ultimates costing 9, and the others costing either just 1 or 1, and then an amount of like 20-30 gold. So when I say that this is a conventional map, I mean that this map also has leveled items in it. You buy an item and you can upgrade it in the shop, and the items cost lumber too. So getting early items is actually kind of awkward. There's also tomes. And I'm sure I've casted some of the TGS games prior to us removing tomes. But tomes are particularly bad in this map. They are really bad in this map. They're really stupid. And I have never understood from the time I started with Warcraft 3 until present day why people put this shit in their maps. Now, this isn't the only problem with this map. Okay, this is just setting the first. For those of you who do not know what a tome does, the tomes increase your attribute points. So let's say, you know, most of the people who watch this don't even know what Warcraft 3 is. But, you know, you got heroes, they've got 3 because that's 3 attribute points: strength, agility, intelligence. Now, in pretty much every given map who's made by people who don't play the game and just are like, well, I'll just stick to the defaults. Agility gives you fucking armor. And armor, as we've discovered, armor is damage reduction by a percentage. Percentage damage reduction is incredibly bad design to begin with. But this is already off the bat, I've presented to you a mixture that allows you to perpetually increase your percentage damage reduction. That is just, you know, it's impossible to balance to begin with, but it's just like, it literally is just toxic. But there's other stupidity than that too. There's strength, which increases your hit point regeneration and then your actual hit points. And then if it's your primary attribute, each hero has a primary attribute, it also increases your damage. And then intelligence just increases your mana and your mana regeneration. So through tomes, in every single one of these maps that has them, you just reach points where, depending on how heroes have their abilities set up, like let's say critical strike or bash, any of these random chance on hits, they scale super fucking hard with stuff like agility that increases your attack speed while also increasing your armor, making you more defensive and much more offensive, while also dramatically making the effective power budget of any given ability that relies on attack speed increase substantially. Strength is also stupid in that way because a lot of these maps may have abilities that scale off of your attribute points, which means that not only are you increasing your base stats and base survivability, you're also increasing the effectiveness of certain abilities. So in these maps where you can just indefinitely increase those, you easily reach a point where certain heroes have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of more health and everything else, attack significantly faster, and they also have more effective health because they have more armor and more regeneration. So it's not just a wall of health you're going through, it's a wall of regenerating health, reducing your damage by a massive percentage. Then unless you have something that shreds armor, you literally can do nothing about. And then we turn around and flip the casters. There's casters in this map, and I do not think any of them scale with intelligence or anything like that because you have to trigger that in. That's not something that's default. That's not like League of Legends where you have ability power and stuff like that. This is something that has to be manually put in. I think some of them might scale with intelligence, but it's very low. I think most of them are flat. In most maps, it's flat. So in other words, you have like in Dota, for example, you have a hero with a flat amount of damage on like Chain Lightning. And then another hero that scales off of strength or whatever, they quickly reach a point where your damage just doesn't matter anymore. Now we're going to accelerate in this stupidity to this game where we have the crafter who builds these towers. And the towers have a fixed health and damage and armor that you can increase only through your skills. You can max these skills very early in the game, and it's going to become clear that they also cost gold. You have a limited amount that you can build because they cost food and you only have 20 food. And as far as I could tell at a glance, you can't increase that food cap. So you can only build a couple towers or a couple of weak units. And at level 1, these are already very weak. And it also takes an eternity to build them. And in an environment that we're going to see where you have units that can hit you with thousands of damage from literally across the screen or more, which is the sniper. We don't see him in this map, but that's typically the hero that we see in this, is the sniper just killing everybody. The sniper is basically king of the environment, along with the clown and the hero that HKS has, and very possibly the hero that Ricky has too. So I'll just let the game speak for itself at this point. I'm going to try to play this a little seriously early on. I'm going to build my towers. I'm going to try to get CS with towers. And then later on, I'm going to not give a shit, and I'm just going to stick towers in front of people and troll them. And they'll just die repeatedly. And I'm not going to really care. So they're really the only way to make money in this, to buy stuff like skills, tombs, anything like that. Tomes. I'm going to just mispronounce that all the time because I always do. It's just not a word I use very often. You have to get last hits. So it's just, you know, it's just like Dota. It's more unforgiving than Team Girl Squad, though. So the tower is, their damage early on is kind of okay, but you can max them out and it's not really that great. Of course, when the towers are under construction, they don't have fortified armor. But I'm not sure what the damage values are in this, but to me it seemed like fortified really wasn't that strong in this. They only have 500 health anyways. So in this map, the creeps will spawn from your towers and stuff like that. You can buy creep upgrades in this as well, kind of like Teen Girl Squad. They're less specific, although you can unlock units. The unlockable units are, in many cases, beyond busted as fuck. This is one of those maps where, like, half the heroes have to have some kind of arbitrary long-range stun. And HKS's hero has a cage match ability that is just dumb as hell. So my first tower has already died and the map has hardly even started yet because, well, everything does do decent damage. And it cost me gold in a long time. Of course, my hero, like, if I go near anything, he dies. The other units you can build are, like, honestly weaker than the base units that they spawn with an upgrade. Like, I've upgraded these. They already have an upgrade. And they're already weak as fuck. So, of course, like I said, you can upgrade the army as well. There you can upgrade their health and damage and stuff like that. That will very quickly outscale anything you build with this hero. So right off the bat, the very start of the map, I already feel very irrelevant. There's probably some way you could play this dude. Maybe just sitting back and building summons. But you will not make money. You have to make money in this to survive, to be able to buy and upgrade your skills, to get any items you want, to be able to make the structures on the crafter. You need money. In order to get money, you gotta get last hits, and in order to make last hits, you gotta be hitting and attacking the minions, which means you need to have towers and stuff up right away. Yeah, it doesn't really work. So I kind of knew, I already knew kind of what he did because I've seen other people play him. I knew that I was just fucked out of the right gate in this map. But this was a 3v2. Ricky offered to sit it out, but we were like, no, we want to kill the Frenchman. How are we gonna kill him when we have 2 melee against 2 fucking healers that are ranged and a tank? And like, they could just run up and kill my towers. Like, if I build my towers back here, they're not gonna do anything anyways. And the other thing is that they're not like, it's not the heroes that are attacking me. There's the archers. The minions have a habit of focusing my structures when they're under construction, and they're just constantly attacking my under construction buildings. Like right now, say they're just ignoring the tower and everything else, and they're just focusing on the in construction building constantly. The minion targeting in this is actually really weird. And at that point, I'm just gonna die again, and I'm just like, well, I don't really fucking care. And then, yeah, like they just gun down your towers in just a couple seconds. No upgrades, low-level units. You can upgrade those a little bit, and I'm going to, but it's not really gonna help you that much. Their damage will increase to a little bit, but. So, this is one of HKS's abilities that puts you into a cage match. And now you'll notice that HKS's stats are kind of stupid. And Ricky died immediately after popping out. So HKS is a melee hero, and I don't know what he does because I've never played him, but he probably has like a cleave, I think some kind of sustain. Then one of the more interesting things about him is that I believe for every kill he takes, creep score or otherwise, he gets 0.1 strength. So, he already has 44 strength. I have 49 intellect. I don't think you even hardly use mana on this dude. Eventually, I will build bombs and they use some mana, I think, but mana usage on him is not super common. You can build a couple of other offensive abilities, some spells that I don't think are really building at all. I'm not really sure. I could have taken those, but at some point I just like stopped caring. So I'll just meme. I'm just memeing in this game. This is not a map you really win 3v2 on. So I was looking for a way to build something on this ledge here, and it kind of looked like you could go up there, but you can't. I was gonna put a tower up there, but it's blocked. So HKS is kind of just running around. He does have substantially more strength than Ricky at this point. Now that is equating to a couple hundred more health. So I decided to build over there, but this is actually in their vision, I think. I wasn't sure what was in the vision or not. I was gonna spend 50 years building a tower. I wanted the tower to at least be somewhere I could use it to kill some of their minions. And yeah, construction takes a long time. If they had a sniper, I never would have even been able to do anything. I would have been getting killed every time I went in the lane. Because sniper has a very high range, a stunning nuke, and a ton of passives that of course scale super hard with tomes. And the damage early on is already really high. I didn't realize that was... When you destroy a tower in this, it goes into possession of the enemy. You can see it also spawns shit. So, I didn't realize that it had flipped over, that HKS had gone back at that point. So, pretty simple stuff so far. This is what most maps look like. The spawning mechanics, quote-unquote mechanics, are different in this than others. But still pretty much the same idea. As like, it's one lane, which is a lot different than a lot of them. But so HKS is just got some shoes. Really just there just to run up and spank Ricky. The minions will just chase him around. Even though they're getting shot by the tower. It's like the targeting in this is so strange. There's a lot of times they'll actually ignore you too. So between their sustain, which includes mana sustain, Ricky's general tankiness, and the fact that that far ahead in numbers, I contribute nothing. This is basically a 1v3 at this point. Like I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I can't like build towers relevant to what's going on at the moment. If I really want to be relevant, I have to build towers super far back. I'm gonna give Ricky lots of money here. I'm just gonna keep building them and let Ricky kill them. I don't even bother to cancel them. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and kill them. They're maxed out now. That ability is maxed out. 900 health is where they cap at. The other ones are 2,000. They have a fraction of the armor. You can upgrade the armor. I think it goes up to about 7 maximum, which I will get. And see, I try to build back here. Those towers are already gone. There's nothing I can do over here. Just hope the minions won't destroy them, but they'll focus it. I figured they would focus on me rather than the structure. Ricky tried to chase me and just got sucked up by HKS again. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll build back here. By the way, if they destroy the altar and shit like that, their creeps just get permanent massive bonuses. So I really didn't want to build towers all the way back at the town hall, but that's what you got to do to survive at this point. So this game's going to end really soon, right? It's obviously going to end really soon. HKS is stacking up on strength. He's got 52. That Bard is heckin' agile. Fuck off, camera. I'm going to take these. These two, like High Zealot and Quantum Menace, like they just sort of exist. A lot of what they're doing doesn't even really like register because it's not very flashy. It's not like Ricky's AoE or HKS sucking up Ricky or whatever, or even my towers. They just exist. But if you watch them, you'll notice that basically they have infinite mana and they're always healing. And it's one of the reasons why they're pushing so hard is because I think they're also sustaining the creeps as well. Ricky's dying because he's getting isolated by HKS. So this stage, I believe these are maxed out on upgrades. I cannot make these towers any stronger at all. Period. That's as erect as they become. One of his other ultimates is to build like a golem or something, but they didn't seem like they were gonna do any better, so I don't bother with that. So without a Ricky, HKS sucks up one of the casters, and he dies as he pops out. HKS dies as he pops out. I can't do anything against the minions, so I'm just like gonna run away. I have 1,000 mana. There's nothing I can really do with it. I can get like a rocket or something, I think, that might deal a small amount of damage. So it's pretty much over at this point. The minions are gonna destroy these high-level towers in short order. On Ricky's side, they're actually going to buy a... You'll see them eventually, like it's like the glaive thrower. They're gonna buy a siege weapon spawn for them. I don't think it'll show up for a little while, but the minions will struggle a little bit with these towers due to their 3,000 health, chaos damage, and they may or may not have splash. I guess they... I don't think they have splash, actually. They look like they should, but they don't. HKS wants to touch, or Ricky wants to touch me. I think HKS wants to touch me, too. It'd be free money anyways. In one of these maps, I think it's actually a map Tong Hop, you can kill your allies and get money out of it, because the Taiwanese never thought that would be a problem. High Zealot just kind of walks up here and dies. I don't know what he was doing. So they got the one thing, they gain bonus damage on their minions. It's a substantial amount, actually. Like a really substantial amount. HKS did buy a Raider, but the Raiders don't actually do siege damage. They do have magic immunity, I think. HKS tries to destroy my tower, or Ricky rather, and HKS just slurped him up. Now, you'll see those explosions are the bombs I mentioned. He can drop invisible bombs he can blow up. I think they'll do like 300, 600, and 900 damage respectively. That's an ultimate ability, by the way. That's like the strongest damage you get. And it's not much. And later on. At this stage, it depletes. Ricky has a mana shield. That's what the immolation looks like. So there's a lot of times I blow it up and his mana just kind of disappears as a result. And that's kind of what got him killed that time. So that can help a little bit, but yeah, those do not deal AoE damage, huh? At this stage, I don't even have the 200 gold to buy the Frostworm, timed Frostworm's defenses. You can buy it once in 50 years. High Zealot bought some ponies. So HKS is 59 strength. He's been struggling a little bit with I don't know if he even has the ability that gives him strength on kill yet. I don't know when he gets that. But he might have it now. That might be why he's really trying to push that as hard. It takes me so long to build the towers. I can't even try to defend the base. And the minions like slap it and it's just gonna die instantly. The archers do 50 damage now. Fortified or not, it won't matter. I'm just gonna die instantly because there's nothing I can do against that. But Ricky died too because I dropped the bomb before I died. So there's the ballista. 150 damage on that. I mean, their peasants do 40 damage at this point. That's more than I think anything we've got, even though we do actually have an army upgrade. So HKS is just got some attack speed now. Just slurps up Q. Just kills Q. One of the towers goes down. Yeah, so it's coming off the minions. So 66. It's every 10 kills, he said, so I don't think he lifesteals. There is life drain armor, or item rather, I think, though. I'm not sure if he ever saw that or bothered to get it. I thought he sustained, but maybe not. So I did get the mage. These guys have a fireball attack. It's the same as the Gul'dan dudes. There it is. It stuns, and then they have a little chain lightning. It's very common for us early in the map to just get these right away, because once you've got like 3 or 4 of them, they can actually permanently CC players, and they will specifically target players if they're accessible. And yeah, it's really irritating. It is really irritating. But at this stage in the game, it's, you know, they're quite expensive, like 580 gold to get. And I've already wasted most of the money I did have, so you can see the peasants are just like ignoring everything else, just dealing insane damage to the cannon. So now this hero can repair. You can repair with him. It takes a long time, but you can do it. It's very important to note that. HKS is now at 68 strength. And the tower damage is not very, I mean, it's high, but it's not high enough that they can kill him now that he has that much. Ricky's gonna cast some spells. All the shit's gonna die. I remain devoted to my tower until the very end. There's some penises chasing me. Ricky almost died for it. Oh, I did die. The penises got me. Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning a lot of these maps were really laggy for me. There was a lot of network lag I was getting. This map was no exception, and I have no idea why. So HKS is just slapping the minions. They're not getting minion upgrades at this point. They did buy... What the fuck is going on? They did buy the glaive, but other than the bonuses from destroying the first of these structures, I don't think they've gotten anything else yet. That said, it is inevitable the war mill will go down, and that one will give them an HP boost. It takes a lot of upgrades on your dudes to offset that bonus, especially when you're not making any money. I don't know why the camera went down there. That fuck it. Fuck! Just piss off! So the thing about healers in this map and supports is they really don't, like, I don't know about the bard, but I think I played the priest. The priest doesn't really do too much. Like, oh, I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. That might have been busted, but no, High Zealot did escape. And Ricky wasn't able to kill HKS either. So this stage, I can't do anything. This hero's really useless in melee. At this point, I realized I can repair those structures, but it's kind of late, especially when the siege weapons are piling on them. I mean, I kind of expected this to end like 5 years ago. Meanwhile, dudes are chasing me forever. Meanwhile, HKS is now at 80 strength. That's over 2,000 health. And now he's picked up an item on top of it that increases his damage, allowing him to kill stuff more reliably and faster. And as long as he's attacking minions, it's just going to be him gradually gaining strength. He may or may not have bought some tomes at this point, seeing as they cost lumber. But, oh yeah, I was able to buy the frostworms. They only live for a short time, but it does push them out of our base. Now, at this stage, with what I've explained to you so far, you probably understand where this map might actually go at this point. You're probably thinking, if we can hold out long enough, HKS might actually have a fuck ton of strength. But we have to hold out for a while. Now, they're not exactly making an ocean of money either. Q has all this attack speed. They're already gone. We got back 2 towers, but yeah, quick build towers, reinforce. You can hold the line. That's surely what you're thinking. Like half the map, Ricky. Half the map will be gone before that happens. Ricky is just butchered immediately. This tower is going to be gone before I even finish building mine. Oh, no, it started attacking the other one. Oh, now it's attacking it. I was going to drop a bomb or something there, I think, and it was already too late. And off I go, and off HKS goes. I can't even stop to fight the peasants. My midget deformed children are gonna beat the shit out of me. There's definitely some Tywin Lannister moments going on at this point here. Really feeling the burn. Feeling that burn. Feeling the burn. I was hoping I could kind of cut across here, but I forgot where the towers were. I don't think I was going to get past there. So there are 2 ballistas now. I think they got a second ballista upgrade. HKS is going to continue to farm, just killing everything, because it's just an endless flow of minions. He's going to try to destroy the towers, but they're still pretty durable for him. He does not actually sustain. His health regeneration is not particularly amazing either. And so they move on to attacking the main structure. Ricky has a summon ability that deals... Oh shit, it's a member of Discord. Always knew Ricky was summoning pedophiles in this game. Just had that inkling. I could smell the cheap cologne. Ah, who am I kidding? Discord moderators don't wear fucking deodorant or cologne. So HKS slowly grinds down the minions as... Man, like... Fucking Hyazilla has like spiders or something attached to him. He can't do anything. He has another pack horse. He grabbed Ricky again. So the fortress is being repaired. I just sat there repairing the fortress as the ballista beat the shit out of it. And was like, no, it's not gonna work. I'll drop a bomb there. That fortress had I think sub 250 health when I got back to it. And at this point, the peasants are gonna just ignore me and HKS and just pile onto it. And Q is gonna try to do something, but he's healing. He was healing, and then he died. Meanwhile, HKS is just murdering everything as they're beating the shit out of me, and the fortress survives. Just barely. Just barely. The night beckons. I escaped with 16 health. I finally decided to move. I was like, do I care if I die or not? I guess I'll move. Why does it bring the... God damn it, it's so annoying. I mean, I can get why you might yank the camera with the player to make sure they know that they respawn or whatever, but I don't remember it even yanking you over to the skill thing, and it shouldn't happen in the fucking replay anyways. There's nothing worse than games that yank away control of your camera at random. Jesus, that and QuickTime events. This is basically a QuickTime event, because then you have to reorient your camera. So at this stage I have to run away because the peasants are hungry. I dropped a bomb, got some money. I am like trying to buy upgrades for shit at this point, because I basically just like stopped building anything. repairing doesn't really cost money, so. At this point, HKS is sitting at 3,000 health, 68% damage reduction, 119 strength, and a ton of agility, and is working on upgrading a bunch of items. There really isn't like complex items in this. You just upgrade those items in there. I think there's some special ones you can get. Like, I think there is one that gives lifesteal, but I might be wrong. So HKS's thing doesn't end when he kills whoever he brought into it. It just ends on a timer. So in some cases, it's actually probably less efficient for him to use it. At this stage, the two healers are just going to sit there healing. And HKS is just going to beat their all this time, everything that he's killing is giving him more strength, and he is becoming more powerful. This isn't because of him buying the tomes in most part. If he bought any, it wasn't many of them. A lot of it is just from him killing the incessant flood of minions. Meanwhile, I've brought the fortress up to almost half health. It's been a long and arduous process, but we're getting there. Meanwhile, their peasants have more health than most of our units. I like how it's ballista, but they're not using the ballista graphic. Meanwhile, HKS is like just a murdering machine now, because although their minions got boosted by killing those two special structures, he's starting to reach the point where it just doesn't matter, and he can just mow through their army like a machine gun. Ricky came down here to try to suicide it, but he didn't realize that it already had a bunch of health. High Zealot comes here to try to finish the job, and he can't, because he doesn't do anything. They're starting to think maybe this might become an issue. There's definitely a little bit of desperation in the Frenchman's eyes at that point. And now HKS, I don't know if he did before, if it wasn't very clear if he did or not, but at this point he absolutely has some kind of cleave. Because now his damage is starting to reach like really high levels, where it looked like he was just cleaving through a ton of shit. I wish we could see abilities, but you can't. Not like StarCraft 2. As bad as StarCraft 2 is, at least they did improve the replay interface a little bit. But it's all stuff that should have been backported to StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3. This stage, HKS can effectively ignore a lot of the other units. They don't serve to be a threat to the fortress, and they can't sustain the minions. And it's honestly more efficient for him to be killing the wave than it is to be chasing High Zealot or Q around. Now, they're healers, but they cannot out-sustain the most important part of this snowball that is starting to unfold, which is they can't stop HKS from getting stronger. And the more the HKS kills, the stronger he will become. The stronger the HKS becomes, the more difficult it's going to be for them to push. Meanwhile, it's hard for them to make money because our minions are so weak and so few in number that they're just not able to get money nearly as often as HKS is. We're literally all of the map worth of the tower and shit that's spawning minions is feeding him money. And that money is turning into stats. HKS is getting the lion's share of the killing blows at this point, regardless of what's going on, because of how little damage everything else is doing. HKS now has 3,600 health, just about. And there is literally nothing anybody can do to kill him. Ricky, even through his mana shield, gets abducted down to Brazil and gets flogged to death by those spiders that cause terminal erections. You're not Kumar enough to survive this. Meanwhile, there is nothing anybody else can do. They can't even run from him. It's nothing they can do! They can't stop him! They can't run from him! Meanwhile, their minions are still strong enough to easily overpower the towers that he takes. Hazel uses a scroll of town portal to escape. HKS still takes a little while to destroy the towers, but he's quickly reaching the point where, because of his massive amount of health and armor, that the towers are also not becoming much of an issue at this point. And HKS indirectly sustains by increasing his strength and increasing his health. Every time his strength goes up and he gets health from it, it's restoring a tiny amount. They used Revive, and all it does is feed HKS more minions to... Oh my god! I had to laugh when I saw the Revive. It was like the worst thing you wanted to do in this circumstance. HKS is just... Most of his items are maxed out, except for the one attack speed item that isn't maxed out. I think 8 is the highest they go. And he's reaching a stage where he doesn't even need it. They're trying to feed money to Ricky, but they don't have money to feed Ricky at this point. We are reaching the pinnacle of Warcraft 3 map design. It is about to reach critical mass stupidity, but not quite yet. There is still one extra component to this display of intelligent map design. So in Ricky's situation, it's 3v2, but all of his healers can't actually do anything to interact with the most important part of the map right now, which is killing HKS and then killing the buildings. They just simply don't have the skills to be relevant because LMAO hard counter-centric designs. And that's the thing. This is a hard counter-centric map where you have shit like the sniper that deals insane fucking damage and healers that are allegedly supposed to sustain it, but you can't out-sustain something that outscales you like that. And then you have HKS, which is just... He makes the most valuable resource in the map in terms of the large scale, which is gold. And he actually, at this point, HKS has been feeding me every bit of lumber and gold that he gets. Every bit of lumber and gold that he gets goes to me. He's not even upgrading or buying tomes at this point. He doesn't even bother to buy tomes. He could be stronger right now. He could be much stronger right now if he was just farming tomes. But he isn't bothering. Just the innate sustain from his skill is more than enough to keep his strength constantly rising. Now he's at 163. As a comparison, Ricky is 48 still. Ricky gets sucked into the toilet. He doesn't even get a chance to scream before Tyrone plugs his holes. Meanwhile, I figured they might try to backdoor this at some point, because Ricky does have something to deal damage to buildings. And I've got a pony over there that's just upgrading shit.
Our allied town is under siege.
And I bought the Turin. So the Turin, or the Alliance have the Knight. The Turin are absolutely busted as all fuck, because they stun. They stun. So he gets stunned by the other dude, and then he just gets pounded. Just instantly killed. They're not even really that upgraded at all, only +2. They're dumb as hell, and yeah, they will tend to start single out players and just chase them forever. The Knights have like a bash thing. It's absolutely stupid. At this point, this match is already over. It's just going through the motions. They cannot, there is nothing they can do at all. Ricky has 480 gold. Even if he invested it all in the tombs, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. HKS is at 170 strength. They're not making up from this. This is how so many of these maps end up, where you just have these stupid scaling shit that nobody even tries to pay attention to. At no point when they were designing these maps did they think, huh, maybe something that scales in a world of non-scaling attributes is just broken? I don't know. The fucking turn alone are a absolute hassle for them to deal with. I don't even know what the hell they were even attacking. Maybe something that Ricky summoned. You couldn't see it. They're desperately feeding Ricky, desperately trying to stop this. But they can't stop this. It's gonna split them in half. And they revive, and all it does is just make HKS stronger. There is absolutely nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. HKS is over 4,000 health. His health regeneration never reaches a terminal velocity, but he has 69% damage reduction. His damage is absolutely monstrous, and he can single out anybody he wants. Ricky wants to try to backdoor, but oh right, the minions stun. There is like, doesn't matter if HKS chased him or not. He was gonna die anyways. The minions would have just beat the shit out of him no matter where he went. The fortress is back to full health.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Izella like stops to do anything. He just gets destroyed. This is why I wanted to show this replay. Like, this is what the average Warcraft 3 map looks like. Some of the visuals might be different and some of the specifics might be different, but so many of them have these kinds of horrendous, glaring balance problems. This is the kind of shit that people say they fondly look back to and when they think that Warcraft 3 has good maps on battlenet. This is precisely the kind of shit that people think is good map design. This is why people think games like StarCraft 2 are good too. Because they have actually no standards at all. You will see the same shit all over the place. The shit may look different, but it's all the same flavor. I literally did nothing in this map at all. I existed. I repaired the structures, and ultimately that did help us win, but you probably shouldn't have been able to repair those to begin with. This is one of those maps where like 5 minutes of brainstorming would fix like half of its most glaring issues. Maybe you shouldn't have tomes. Maybe things shouldn't hard scale. Maybe there shouldn't be heroes that are busted in such a manner where they get a bunch of stats that turns them into unkillable machines that fly across the map. Maybe there shouldn't be heroes that have binary things like, oh, I heal and do nothing else. It just doesn't work.